Welcome back to Christmas Tips. You might notice that I look a little different on this video, and that's because we are going to talk about something very important for the holidays today, and that is looking good. And I wanted to talk to you about how to look your best for your holiday parties and for all the people who are coming to visit. We've talked about decorating outside of your house and impressing people with your dishes. Now it's time to talk about how to impress them with yourself. And we're going to talk about makeup tips and a little bit of fitness, and I think we'll have you in pretty good shape by the time you get around to your holiday party. So you might notice that my hair is a little different, and that's because I'm wearing a wig. And I think that one of my first tips that I want to give you is natural is out, and what you want to do this holiday season is go for big, and you want something that pops and something that is going to make people stop and look. And so one way to do that is to get a lovely wig like this one, and it can just be pretty much anything, long or short. Mine is just fashioned into a kind of a reverse bob, and it just looks snappy. So that's my first tip. Get yourself a wig and put that over your hair, and you're going to be feeling pretty good. The other thing that I want to talk about is you might notice that I spend a lot of time putting on some bronzer. And bronzer is key because, especially in Wisconsin, when all your friends are not seeing the light of day and they're getting paler and paler, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get a bronzer, and you're going to want to spend about 15 minutes putting that bronzer on every morning, so that when you're sitting in a crowd of really pale white people, you're going to pop. You're just going to pop, and people are going to take a look at your orange skin, and they're going to think, she looks good. She looks like she's been in the sun. And that's what you want. And they might think, how has she been in the sun? But that's what you want them to think. So they'll just be thinking you look good. And so I have bronzer on, but another thing you could do is, if you don't have bronzer, you could actually go to the tanning booth. The tanning booths are one of my second suggestions for anybody looking to look really good this holiday season. So get yourself to the tanning booth, and you want to go hardcore. You want to go 30 minutes at least once a day, maybe twice a day, just until your skin looks like kind of like a dark brown leather couch. You want it to look like that, and so that's a nice base coat for the makeup that you put on. So wigs, tanning booth, and then another thing you may notice, I have some really tiny eyelashes, but you'll see that I put on fake eyelashes, and these are actually called double eyelashes. They're the extra thick, extra long eyelashes, and I got them at Walgreens, and they look really, really good. And that's the other thing I think that I would like to recommend to you, because I think anytime you can put an accessory on your face, you're going to walk away from that a winner. So definitely invest in the double thick long eyelashes, because again, natural is out, and you want people to notice, where'd she get those beautiful long eyelashes? And you don't have to tell them, but they're just going to know you look good. So after you put on your wig and your fake eyelashes, then another thing you want to do is I'm going to demonstrate for you. You've probably heard of cat eyes, and that's a way to put on your eyeliner, and it's a really classy way of putting on eyeliner that makes you look like a cat. And I know that I said natural is not in anymore, but actually human cats are pretty natural. So in this case, go ahead and go with the natural human cat, and just get it way out there. And if you wanted to, you could actually draw in some whiskers to add to your cat eyes. So I'm going to just go ahead and do both eyes, and I'm going to go as far out as I can, adding whiskers. So that looks good. You can see that that looks really good. And people will be like, is she a pretty lady or is she a cat? And that's part of the fun. You can be like, no, I'm a pretty lady, but you thought I was a cat. So that's why you want to do cat eyes. And then the other thing is, you've probably heard a lot about smoky eyes. So, and getting the smoky eye effect is not as easy as it seems, but again, because you want to go with something that is not natural, we like to call it ashes eyes. So why go with smoke when you can actually go with ashes and make your eyes look like ashes, like you smeared ashes all over them? That looks really good. That looks really good. And you're gonna want to do that with both eyes. I'm actually putting on pitch black eyeshadow, which is very natural, but yet also stands out like ashes. And it looks like you smeared ashes on your eyes, and that looks really good. And then the final tip for your makeup that I have, you can see this is Wet n Wild, a really high quality brand of lipstick that you can get at Walgreens. And you want to go with the darkest shade you can find because natural is out. And you just want to put that right on your lips. And if you go above your lip line, even better, because you want them to look thick. There you go. And that's how you want to show up at your party and make people think Merry Christmas. And they may ask you for your makeup tips, and you can go ahead and send them to the video if they do. And I think they will. And then finally, the last thing I want to talk about is a lot of people say, hey Mickey, how do you look so good? And I think the trick is to understand that there's a lot of myths out there. There's a lot of misinformation and actually propaganda that involves telling people to eat vegetables and eat in moderation and make sure you are moving all day and exercising. And that's actually not true. What you need is you need a gimmick. You need one thing. And at Christmas time, what I recommend for taking off some weight to fit into your holiday outfit is eggnog. So what I do is I do an eggnog fast. I actually don't eat anything else other than eggnog. I have eggnog for breakfast and lunch and supper and snacks. And what that does is the eggnog gets your adrenals going, and it filters through the thermal layer underneath your skin, building up the metabolism that will burn the calories and make you thin. So I think that when you really think about it, the science of it, it makes a lot of sense. So drink eggnog when you wake up. What you want to do is you want an 8-ounce glass of eggnog when you wake up in the morning. Have another one for breakfast a few hours later, lunch, supper, snack before bed. You get the idea. I haven't actually taken off any weight with that, but it's only a matter of time before the adrenals start pumping into the thermal layer underneath my skin, and then the weight's gonna drop. So that's a tip for staying fit this holiday season. So I think I've given you some things to think about, how to look good both on the inside and outside, and to have the merriest of Christmases, both feeling good and looking good. Merry Christmas.